driving along Isfjorden, which means ice fjord. The ice fjord is not a very relevant name anymore because since 10 years now we don't really have ice on the fjord anymore. But climate change gives us some good things. Here we have more rain, we have rainbows.
Au pied de l'arc-en-ciel, il y a cette terre qui se réchauffe plus vite que nulle part ailleurs, 3 à 5 fois plus vite, plus 10 degrés l'hiver ces 30 dernières années.
Some flowers.
Kim Holmen est aux avant-postes de ce bouleversement. Il dirige l'Institut polaire norvégien.
The first time I was here, I said, can we go fishing? And everybody started laughing. No, you cannot go fishing. And of course, in the winter, in particular, it's very obvious. We used to take snowmobiles, and you could go across. And we cannot do that at all anymore. The ocean is warmer, no ice, new plankton. The fish that eat these warmer water plankton are different fish. And of course the birds that eat the plankton and the fish, the highly specialized Arctic ones, do not find the food they need, and we have other birds coming. Svalbard is the place where we have the fastest and the largest changes today.
Voilà Longyearbyen, capitale de facto de l'archipel du Svalbard, la ville la plus au nord du monde. Tout ici d'ailleurs est le plus au nord du monde, église comprise. Encore un peu plus haut, et c'est le pôle Nord. À Longyearbyen, depuis 9 ans, pas un seul mois où les températures n'aient été dans le rouge, bien au-dessus de la normale. Les scientifiques du monde entier viennent là pour étudier ce cas extrême. Voilà l'Institut polaire norvégien. On y retrouve Kim Holmen.
So here we are in the logistics rooms. Here we have all the equipment we need in order to do science out in the field here in the Arctic. And their boots and the clothing, it's a lot of work to go out and be safe. So carbon dioxide is going up, temperature is going up, and here you see how the Earth was colder, and in the 1930s the Arctic got warm. So if we look here, the warm in the Arctic, but then it disappeared again. But if you look at what is happening the last 40 years, I think you get an impression of something very different. And the area that is reddest here is the Arctic. If we by magic turned off the emissions today, so zero emissions, we have already changed the atmosphere so much that it will take 20, 30 years before the ocean catches up. So whether you like it or not, temperature, even in this sort of hypothetical magical situation, temperature will continue to rise for 20 years.
Francisco Matos s'est installé sur cette terre inhospitalière il y a 8 ans, par passion de l'extrême, de la glace et des aurores boréales.
From this point on is basically wild, and we need to take a gun and a flare gun in case of polar bears. We have more polar bears than people here in the island, so it's forbidden to live without a gun.
Francisco vient ici régulièrement pour filmer cette nature en transition Il est documentariste.
It gets more dangerous here because of that everything is melting, because there's ice under the rocks. So this is a very unstable terrain.
On arrive, voilà le glacier Longuerprenne.
The glacier just basically start disappearing. It's really impressive because it was so much more ice. It was so much more. It used to come all the way here, all the way almost down there where we came from, and now it's just becoming water.
Les glaciers couvrent 60% de Svalbard. Ils sont en net recul et perdent en épaisseur 70 cm par an.
This is supposed to be the Arctic desert. And the past 8 years that I've been living here, it's been more and more rain, like heavy rain. And the water starts like carving these tunnels into the glacier. And they're getting bigger and bigger.
Et c'est le cercle vicieux, plus ça fond, moins c'est blanc, moins ça reflète les rayons du soleil, et donc plus ça absorbe la chaleur.
The yellow line is where the ice edge used to be in the 1980s, 90s. Between the yellow and the white is open water today. It's enormous areas. We could see open water across the Arctic within 10, 20, even sooner, but 20 years for sure. When I meet people, journalists in particular, they want numbers. How much warmer, how fast. And I've spent much of my professional career looking for the exact number, but the number itself will not convince anyone. We also need to discuss what does this mean for you and me and the world, and how do we feel about it.
C'est tout le sens de cette séquence tournée au Svalbard par Greenpeace. Voici Timon Bruggemann et Petty, son inséparable chienne. Timon est guide et ce paysage familier, il le voit changer à vue d'œil.
What's happening here is that we have this greening of the Arctic. All the plants that are already living here actually grow much stronger and in bigger areas, and therefore we have more reindeer in the first place because they find more food now.
Mais au sortir de l'hiver dernier, plus de 200 cadavres de rennes ont été découverts ici, un record.
No, there is a dead reindeer laying there, and I think there is another one just down here. You see the white spot there? and then you have the same all the way into this valley. So here we see this young reindeer that actually died last winter. You can tell because it has the white color in the fur. This is an interesting symptom of the change in climate here, because we get more precipitation in the winter time, and then suddenly the rain falls and it just all freezes. It takes a few hours and it goes from +5 degrees to -10. And then you have this thick layer of ice, and these reindeer, they can't scrape through that to get to their plants that they eat. What these reindeer then do is they either die of starvation or they try to climb the very steep hillsides, and then they fall down and die.
Sur ces parois abruptes, il y a aussi la réponse à cette question. Pourquoi diable les humains sont-ils venus s'installer ici, il y a plus d'un siècle, pour le charbon?
We here on Svalbard, we actually have the largest CO2 footprint of all people on Earth, if you count tons CO2 per capita. And that makes it very hard to live here, because this is what I love. This is the landscape that I chose to live in, and at the same time I know by being here, I am, such a part in destroying it. And that makes it very hard. That makes me often think about, like, should I actually live here? Should I, shouldn't I be in another place?
La statue du mineur est au cœur de la ville, mais aujourd'hui à Longyearbyen, l'industrie du tourisme a supplanté celle du charbon. Ils débarquent par paquebots entiers. On appelle ça le tourisme d'extinction, dernière chance de voir des ours polaires avant disparition. Et puis ils repartent, sans se rendre compte que ceux qui restent voient s'enchaîner les calamités. Comme Espen Klungset, qui dirige une école ici.
The red house down there is the house I lived in when the avalanche happened the 19th of December 2015. You can see the road here. It was 11 houses here. And they're all gone now because all these houses were taken by the avalanche. It was difficult to believe what you saw. All the houses was moved. One of the houses actually touched the greenhouse in the end of the road there.
Cette nuit-là, 11 de ses voisins ont été ensevelis, 2 sont morts, et 2 ans plus tard, une nouvelle avalanche emporte d'autres maisons encore.
Of course, this was a very dramatic experience for me and my family, but it was also a very big turning point for Longyearbyen and for this society.
Désormais, la menace est toujours là, tapie dans la montagne. La neige a aussi enseveli l'insouciance des 2700 habitants, malgré ces barrières anti-avalanche installées depuis. Car elles ne peuvent pas sécuriser toute la ville. 10% de la population a été définitivement évacuée. Voilà le maire de Longyearbyen, Arild Olsen, un ancien mineur.
This is a whole town, a whole society that are climate adapting. One of my main issues here is to show the population that we have control so we can keep them out of harm's way. It's difficult. I know that there are some people here that are anxiety about, in fact, are they safe? I can show you the map on the big screen I have there. Wouldn't have been nice if the city has been like this, but when I click on it, natural hazard, it all goes red. So the red zone shows has different kind of hazard areas. You can zoom out just a bit here. Of course, there are avalanches here and quite near the town center, and we have like slush slides going down the riverbed here, and we have flooding down this river and landslides and whatnot. And this is an online map that people can go and look at, and I think that's a necessary tool. Oh yeah, this is me. All right, Mr. Olsen. Yeah, I live here.
Pas super bien placé, mais toujours mieux que les habitants de cet immeuble condamné. Et là, c'est à cause de la fonte du permafrost. Ces fissures apparaissent car le sous-sol, normalement gelé en permanence, décongèle. Au cimetière, il va falloir déplacer les morts. Avec le permafrost qui fond, cadavres et maladies ensevelies menacent de réapparaître et il est aujourd'hui interdit de se faire enterrer sur l'île. Les infrastructures aussi s'affaissent, la ville est en chantier permanent. 150 maisons doivent être reconstruites, les plus dangereuses seront démolies.
We're in one of the houses in Namibia that has been permanently evacuated. It's because it lays in the red zone. It's not possible to secure permanently. So this house will be turned down. What I think we have a responsibility for us who live here and Norway as a nation is to make also this little tiny society a sustainable society, and it's not that today.
Cet improbable potager en plein Arctique est né des mains magiques de Benjamin Widmar. Cet Américain a réussi l'impossible, faire pousser des légumes et des herbes aromatiques au-dessus du cercle polaire.
Now I'm just trying to prepare the greenhouse for the dark season. Soon the sun will go away.
Ce dôme sera alors dans l'obscurité pendant 4 mois dans une des régions les plus glaciales et reculées du monde. C'est là que Ben a fondé son entreprise de permaculture polaire.
I came here as a chef, and I just was really fed up with the vegetables that we get. We pay a lot of money. It's very expensive to fly everything up. It doesn't last long when we do get it here. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to grow my own food. I can do better than this. These are the worms we had to get permission to have because it's an invasive species. So it took 1.5 years to get permission. So we compost with them, we deliver to the hotels and restaurants, and then we collect back what they don't use. We compost it with the worms, and then we grow it out here in the dome because this is soil-based.
Aujourd'hui, Ben a de la visite. Une délégation d'experts en économie durable venue de Norvège pour évaluer son projet en vue d'une subvention.
So everything started indoors. I will show you indoors first. I started there in 2013, and then the dome only came in 2016. So follow us, please. Yeah, so we have clover, radish, and one tray we sell for 450 kroners. So it's not so cheap, but it's cheaper than the one they buy from Netherlands because it's like 300 kroners, and it's like maybe half the size of this. And they say by the time it arrives, they have to throw 40% of it away anyway because it doesn't make it through the transport. Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling them we should do the same in the basement of our school.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
like the cantina.
Smart, very
Now
smart.
we see that we have the place.
Yeah, you can do it.
We need the knowledge, you know.
Ce que Ben produit, il le fait découvrir en même temps que l'île dans ce bus. Ses plats disent la même chose que lui, il faut renouer avec la nature.
You have some roasted peppers. These are the peas that we grow, the sprouts, and you have some roasted sunflower seeds. And then you just have an egg. These are one of the Norwegian eggs that we have here, and some feta cheese, and just a piece of the knäckebröd, or what is this one? Knäckebröd? Yeah. Yeah. So this is the starter. We have a main dish and we have a dessert, just so you understand. I will start to drive up towards the mine 3, and just any questions, just let me know. Okay. Yeah. Did you want to have any photos of this global sequel? Or? Yeah, stop. Okay. We need to change the whole system here because we burn coal for energy and we import everything, and we also ship back all of our waste to the mainland. So it's and the only way to get here is by flight. So everyone speaks about change, but we need more practical examples of change. So that's why I'm trying to give an example of how to change.
Ces soirs de répétition pour la chorale des hommes du Grand Nord. Olaf Store est un pilier de cette formation, on ne peut plus viril.
I'm lucky we have a choir here. It is very important to have friends here. All of us have the same problem. We have our family other places, so the friends become the family.
Olaf Store vit au Svalbard depuis 20 ans et ici il est connu comme le loup blanc, ou plutôt l'ours. Il a d'ailleurs un sacré coup de patte.
My art says that we have to take care of the nature. To me, nature is safeness, like a safe harbor. Has always been there and will always be there. The world will survive without our human being. The only reason why people care about this problem is that human beings are afraid of dying as a species. And we will die. Do you think that human beings really mean that much on this planet? Do you really think that?
L'étoile du Nord arrive au port, c'est un grand jour à Longyearbyen, départ d'expédition. On y retrouve Kim Holmen de l'Institut polaire et Olaf aussi, venu faire ses adieux à ces deux femmes. Tout ce beau monde va les accompagner jusqu'à une île isolée en pleine Arctique. Elles y resteront seules 9 mois dans la glace.
Supar bara rågen, adjum i vackra krus, morgonmiddagsaftonrus, aftonrus, 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 aftonrus. Gruppekram! Gruppekram!
Hilda et Sunniva se sont lancées ce défi fou comme simples citoyennes. Seules là-bas, elles collecteront des données sur le réchauffement pour la NASA et l'Institut polaire norvégien notamment.
The last 10 years staying on Svalbard, I've seen such a big change in the climate. It's kind of depressing, makes me scared. But instead of being scared, I try to think that if we all can do a contribution, if we all do something in our daily life, I really think that we can make a contribution to this accelerating climate change. If we all do a little bit in our daily life, that will be the solution.
C'est l'heure de larguer les amarres sur une dernière mise en garde.
What we see here is a warning of what is coming to the rest of the world.